What's good, everybody? It is Sunday, October 23rd. I am the coach, and this is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it is not close. As you know, Sunday's a very busy day at the brand. But before we look forward, we must always look back. Kind of a ho-hum day as far as picks are concerned. Now, morning show, not bad at all. 6-3. I'll take that every single day. And then kind of a 500 day with our college football mega preview. There are all the picks from Wednesday and the days after. As for today, in addition to this, our morning show, we have a full breakdown. Early Edge Live at noon Eastern time today. We'll look at every single 1 o'clock game, every single 4 o'clock game, and then also tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Early Edge Live as we count down to Sunday Night Football. It's a ton of fun. Make sure you turn on those notifications so you don't miss one single second of our content. Well, you know, on Sundays, I bring the absolute heavy hitters out. So let's bring in the stars of the show. You know him, you love him. Let's start first and foremost. He literally just got off a plane live from Nashville, Tennessee. The penthouse level, M squared. Welcome to Sunday Brunch.
Thank you, Coach. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday brunch. It's a beautiful day out there. A lot of sports going on again today. Love this NFL slate and love a player prop once again here this week. Let's go.
Ooh, can't wait to get to that. Now, he is the NFL at SportsLine. We call him the stoic one, R.J. White. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Exciting Sunday. We get a few quarterbacks back, with Tua and Dak on the field. We lose a few quarterbacks, which I know we're going to talk about here in a second. So be interesting to see what happens today.
Yeah, speaking of that, he is fired up. And when you see his picks today, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He is the maestro, Larry Hartstein. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. Honestly, no place I'd rather be than with you guys to get ready for NFL Week 7. 2 weeks ago, I took down the Stoic one in a showdown. Last week, he got me back because I stupidly backed Cliff Kingsbury at Seattle. But I think today is about partnership and teamwork, and I think we're just going to, sit at 1-1 until next week.
Synergy. You never know when a showdown could just pop up, Maestro. You never know. You never know. All right, let's get into it. Storylines could affect the betting lines today. You heard RJ just say it. There are quarterback issues today. Maestro, I'm coming to you first because in Denver, their offense has struggled a lot. And now today, a new guy under center. Start us off.
They've been pathetic offensively with Russell Wilson, who has a partially torn hamstring, will not play, probably out next week as well. It's going to be Brett Rippin. He's made one previous start, also against the Jets in 2020, threw for 242 and 2 TDs in a 37-28 win, but he did get picked off 3 times, and I was reading some articles about that game, and there were other turnover-worthy plays that the Jets didn't capitalize on, but I still think it cannot be a downgrade because Nathaniel Hackett has wanted to run bootlegs and rollouts and get the quarterback on the move, and Brett Rippin will do that. Russell Wilson did not seem inclined to do that or not efficient doing that, so I don't think it can hurt the offense. And we've seen, though, that Denver become a home dog with that defense. They've played 3 home games. They've given up 1 touchdown. We're talking about playing the 49ers, the Colts, and the Texans. They've only given up 1 touchdown at home. I know the Jets are coming in riding high. They believe in themselves. They're coming off a huge win. But Zach Wilson, under pressure, far and away the worst quarterback in the NFL under pressure, 4 for 23 under pressure for 49 yards with 2 picks. I am playing the Denver Broncos as home dogs plus 1.5.
All right, so the first official pick in the storyline. That's next level kind of stuff right there. By the way, quick chat question. Mikey, I'm coming to you. They have fantasy issues. You got Tua and Dak as their quarterback. Who do you play?
I'll lean Tua just slightly.
Okay, very good. All right, now, Maestro, you use the word downgrade. And RJ, the 49ers did anything but downgrade their offense this week. What am I talking about?
San Francisco getting reinforcements actually on both sides of the ball. Chiefs open -3. It moved to 2.5 prior to the Christian McCaffrey trade, which was a fair move, I thought. Then after the trade happened, it moved to 2. Now it's down to -1. And the reason that is because of how healthy San Francisco got compared to last week. Nick Bosa, Jimmy Ward cleared on defense, not even on the injury report. Both offensive tackles cleared. That's huge with Trent Williams coming back. They still have issues at defensive tackle. So maybe the new Kansas City starting running back, Isaiah Pacheco, has success. That's another big news item from today. If you're in fantasy, you want to go out and grab him. I think at -1, Kansas City is probably still the value play, but I was locked in on them at -2.5 before the McCaffrey trade, and now I'm not as locked in because of that injury report.
Yeah, so we'll keep our eye on it. Of course, we're going to break down that game at noon today because it's a game changer, not just for today, but certainly moving forward, future tickets, conference tickets. There's a lot of things that happen because of that trade, and we'll be all over that here at the Early Edge. All right, let's get into our board for the day. We got a lot. No SportsLine picks today. However, if you would like to become a SportsLine member and you're not yet, everybody's been talking about it. Come join us. Use the promo code EARLY. I'll give you 30 days for free. Try us out. Get all the cappers you see on the screen right now. All right. Now, where do I start? Well, it's Sunday brunch for a reason. And this man named this show. So he always goes first. And last week, Mike, it took till late in the game, but we cashed this man's ticket. Are we going to do it again today?
We are. We're definitely going to do it again today. It's going to be Jamar Chase going over on his yardage once again, 79.5, currently on FanDuel, -110 even. I just played this about 15 minutes ago. I really like this spot. I also love that it's 82.5 on some of the other sports books. My simulation number here is 88. The SportsLine model has this up over 92. Really love the spot, though. He's going to see a lot of AJ Terrell, which is interesting because I'm not exactly sure how good he is. He graded out as the second best cornerback in 2021. However, that rating is dipped to 85th out of 107 so far this season, putting him much more in line with the 2020 season where he was middle of the pack at best. So I'm willing to believe what we saw in 2020 and a lot of what we're seeing here on this Atlanta defense this season. Individually, at worst, it's a league average matchup for Chase in a spot where the team has an excellent matchup here. I love this spot. Give me Jamar Chase over 79.5 receiving yards.
And I love the over in this spot, too. I don't think that the Bengals are going to stop the Falcons either. I really don't. All right. I love that first pick. Love Jamar Chase really starting to get into his flow. Speaking of flow, Maestro, you're feeling it today. We're going to change things up just a little bit. So, I know that in Las Vegas, there is a running back that is really starting to play good football. How are you targeting him today?
Yeah, Josh Jacobs over 17.5 receiving yards. I got two prop plays in this game, but one is Josh Jacobs because he's gone over this in 3 straight games with 5 catches for 31, 31, and 39. And he's facing a Texans defense. Lovie Smith, we know he loves the cover too. They sit back. They allow a lot underneath. They give up the 7th most receiving yards to opposing running backs. I mean, the workload is off the charts for Josh Jacobs. So that's play number 1 in this game. Sticking in this game on the other side, Nico Collins, longest catch over 19.5 yards, -111 at Caesars Sportsbook. You know, he doesn't get a lot of attention because Brandon Cooks draws the attention, and that has allowed Nico Collins to flourish. He's cashed this ticket 4 straight games, over 19.5, longest reception, second-year player out of Michigan. He gets all the deep throws. He gets all the air yards, more than 60% of the air yards in their last game. Oh, and the Raiders are without Nate Hobbs, their top corner. So Nico Collins over 19.5.
And that is a 4:05 Eastern kick. Texans and the Raiders in Las Vegas. Quick question, Mike, and you may have said it, but several in the chat are asking, how high would you play Jamar Chase up to?
Yeah, I didn't mention it there. I'll play it up to 86.5. I believe the number should be 84.5. My sim is 88. The SportsLine model is 92.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, RJ, I got to come to you because when we look at your 2 picks today, this is a team, one of the teams, Seattle, we didn't know how good they were going to be. And now they're a fun team to watch. And then the other side, you got Tom Brady, and I don't know what they're doing. How are you attacking these 2 games?
Yeah, Seattle +5 at the Chargers. Seattle's offense finally slowed down against the Cardinals, but Kenneth Walker looks like a gem at running back. I know Larry's going to get into him in a second. I think we have kind of synergy on this pick. Chargers defense 31st in rush yards per game, and I think having a good run game will help Geno in the pass game. Geno's been MVP caliber for a lot of the first part of this season. Tyler Lockett is questionable, which worries me for Seattle, but the Chargers are more banged up at pass catcher with their injuries. And the thing about the Chargers is they just don't put away teams very often. You know, it has to be a bad team, I think, to get that clinching touchdown at the end. Otherwise, they just let teams back in games over and over. And Geno's good enough to get a backdoor cover. So I like Seattle +5 at the Chargers as one pick. My other pick is the Bucks Panthers under 39 points. This is down from 40.5 earlier in the week before we saw the McCaffrey trade. It's a very low total, but I just don't see how Carolina scores points with McCaffrey and Robbie Anderson gone. They got a pick 6 against the Rams last week, but you can't count on that versus Brady. They only have 7 offensive touchdowns all year, and they have 3 defensive touchdowns as well. So if you're not getting that defensive touchdown, I just don't see how they score points. Tampa's offense hasn't looked right. They've only topped 21 points all year. I expected more from them the last 2 weeks in good matchups against Atlanta and Pittsburgh, and they fell flat. I don't see why they're going to come out and score 40 here. So this really feels like a 21-10 type of game, and it stays under pretty easily.
RJ, clearly you haven't been paying attention to the GM of the Panthers, because when he was asked when you trade Christian McCaffrey, are you tanking? Oh, no, we expect to win. Okay. A lot of people trade their best player and then still expect to win. They just don't win. Now,
McCaffrey was the problem.
Yeah, he was horrible. Well, he couldn't stay on the field, but my goodness. And he's excited to be playing in San Francisco. Make no mistake about it. Now, Maestro, I'm going to come back to you because, as RJ just said, this Bucks-Panthers game could be yuck. And the Panthers are just going to try and shorten the game. That's the only thing they can do, which brings one of your props into play for the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm going to go Leonard Fournette under 67.5 rushing yards. He has gone under this now in 5 straight games, and he's only averaging 3.6 yards a carry. And as horrible as Carolina is, the one thing they're decent at is stopping the run, only allowing 4.2 yards per carry, which is 12th in the NFL. And Fournette, his 3.6 average, his runs have been expected to gain 4.7 according to PFF. So he is underperforming what is even out there. And I know they're not blocking great, but he is underperforming that. So even though we could have a game script with the Bucks way up, trying to pound the ball, maybe we see more of Rachaad White. I think they're going to come out throwing because that was their downfall last week in Pittsburgh, is too many early down runs, and that got them into 3rd and long. So that's one play. Second play, got to go back to Nick Chubb. This time his longest rush, I'm getting it over 16.5, minus 120. And this guy had gone over it 10 straight times, and it was up at 19.5 last week. He only got to 18 against the Patriots, who were gearing up to stop him. I love this over 16.5 against the Ravens, who, according to True Media, 5 or more yards before contact, they give up the second most time in the NFL at 16%. So let's go back to the well with Nick Chubb. I'm not going to cheat on Nick Chubb just because he didn't come through for me last week. I'm going to stay faithful to that guy who I love. And then the final play, like I am in synergy with RJ on this Seahawks matchup, and Kenneth Walker, who owns the backfield now with no Rashad Penny. This guy was so explosive last week. He forced 12 missed tackles, by far the most in the NFL. Chargers D, 5.6 yards a carry, ranks 31st, but also a lot of explosive runs they give up. So let's go longest rush, Kenneth Walker, over 16.5.
That's going to be a fun game to watch. 4:25 Eastern this afternoon, the Seahawks at SoFi to take on the Chargers. In fact, there's 4 o'clock games today, so at least one more than we normally get. All right, so far it's a full show, and we still have many more to come today. So grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap courtesy of Jake the Snake on the 1s and the 2s, the Maestro. He's going to go Broncos. A little surprising with Russell Wilson out, but he gave you all the reasons why. Then Josh Jacobs, let's go over 17.5 receiving yards. Nico Collins, longest reception, over 19.5 yards, minus 111. Then Nick Chubb, longest rush, over 16.5. Leonard Fournette, under 67.5 rushing yards. And then Kenneth Walker for the Seahawks, longest rush, over 16.5. M-squared, one play so far. Of course, he'll be here throughout the day. Jamar Chase, over 79.5 receiving yards, should have another big day just like last week. And then RJ White, 2 big plays so far. Seahawks +5, Bucks Panthers under 39. Now, for many of you who tune into this particular show yes, Maestro, do you have something?
Yeah, no, I saw a question in the chat that I wanted to answer about why not take the Broncos on the money line. And yeah, you could do that. I love that as well, but this could be a 17-16 Jets win, and I'd rather have the 1.5.
No question. I normally only do the money line was like 1.5 when it's the favorite. Then I like to take that one out. But great point by you. The other great point is now in the world of sports betting, you can always look ahead. You can always get ahead of the number. That's what we try to do here at the Early Edge. And RJ White is the absolute best at it. So you know that at the very end of this show, we give you a little bonus. Just a little bonus for hanging out till the end of the show. RJ, what do we got this week?
Next week, Monday Night Football game is Bengals at Browns. I saw that at Bengals -3 at Caesars earlier today. I like the Browns if it's +3. The offense is coming off the worst game of the year against the Patriots. They could come out and look better today in a matchup where, as Larry's saying, Nick Chubb is expected to have a really good day. Since he's playing the best ATS team in the league, we know, unlikely to blow out the Falcons in that game. So with Cleveland at +6.5, Cincy at -6.5 today, I think Cleveland has to do less to impress and move this line. And so home game for Monday Night Football, I just can't see it being more than 3. So We might not get 3 next week. I don't think it's going to go up after this. So I think if you want to make sure you get the 3, you should get it now.
All right. You can always bet it ahead of time, and we encourage you to tune in for our mega NFL preview every single Tuesday with these 3 gentlemen on the screen right now. It's the most important hour of the week. It's where we set the tone, we set the lines, we set our best bets, and then we move from there throughout the week. All right, that will do it for our first show of the day. But as you know, there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Sunday tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. M Squared, Maestro, the Stoic One, RJ White, Jake the Snake on the ones and the twos. I am the coach. It doesn't matter the day, the time, the sport. We grind. And right now we are smack dab in the middle of NFL season. So don't lose focus. Stay with us here at the Early Edge. Good luck.